So I apologies to whoever which one. I generally look at my phone. Sorry, page people, but if you want me to look at you, you're going to have to get in my group. Awaken the Boss on Facebook. I suggest you get in there if you're a woman, if you're a female looking to build your coaching business. That is the place to be, because that's where you'll see me show up the most and where you'll get most value from, because I run these free trainings every single week. And today I'm going to be talking about a massive truth bomb that you may or may not have heard me talk about this week. I've come out with a few, to be fair, this week. So there's one in particular I really want to push forward and talk about, but also how to make it happen in your business for you, and telling you a little bit about my story and how I made it happen. So I'm going to be talking about that. Conversation starter, 10 comments so far. Well, I haven't seen any comments, so that's not fair, which means, page people, I may or may not be able to, let's see if I leave my page, will it chuck me off? So apologies, page people, if I go onto my group, because it says that I cannot see my comments. Yes, you are indeed all commenting, and I can't see a single one. So I'm going to stay into this. Let me just go into this on here. Is it going to let me do? So I'm going to... Oh, now I've got lovely feedback. I'm going to stay into this. Turn that off, and then I can see everybody. Now I can see the comments. Hi, Marcy, listening in the truck. Perfect. Oh, Marcy's posted a truth bomb on her page. I am totally going there soon. Sophia, hi, gorgeous. Here is my comment. Long time no see. I know, it's such a long time, Sophia, isn't it? Dawn, you're on. Gwen, you're on. Lovely. Okay, so we've got quite a few people on here. Fab. If you haven't said hi already, say hi. Sarah, lovely. Hi, Karen. Sarana. Sorry if I've missed any of you, but I'll be here forever saying hi to everybody. But it's so lovely to see everybody on here. And let me just check to see whether I'm still live on my page. I may or may not be. But I am. Amazing. But I'm going to stay in my group, because that means I can see everyone's comments. So if you're commenting on my page, I'll have to answer you afterwards. If you're in my group, lucky you, because that means I can speak to you and see you. So perfect. Let me begin. So if you haven't heard me speak before, my name is Jen Hall. I am a business clarity coach for coaches, mentors and trainers who want to find alignment with their passion, to actually really drill down and define their niche and ideal client, to help them market their business more effectively, but more importantly, become aligned with their purpose so that they feel on fire and amazing, and on a mission to go and change lives. And also to start converting perfect prospects into paying clients. That is my goal. And so today I am going to talk a little bit about how you're going to make it happen for you and what you need to do in order to just go all in and say, this is it. So a few days ago, I posted a video about, I think it was from Tony Robbins, all about burning the boats. And I've mentioned this a few times in my journey about burning the boats. Now, I just want to say, first of all, what I don't mean by burning the boats is I don't mean put yourself in a ridiculous position where you cut off all other income sources and leave yourself swimming around with sharks swimming around you, where it's like, you know, dog eat dog world. Okay, I don't want that to happen to you, because one, it's not a nice position to be in. I wouldn't really recommend it. And two, not only are you putting yourself in a dangerous position, I'm sure many of you have families, you might have dependents, that, you know, you need your income streams. There is no need to cut off all of your income streams. There are plenty of people out there who have held down a job and created a successful coaching business and made the leap. Okay, but also if you do that, it puts you in an incredibly needy position. It puts you in that position of being the coach that chases clients. So you go out there and you're like, oh my God, please buy from me, please buy from me. I really need the money. I can help you. I can absolutely help you. And that desperation and neediness stinks to high heaven, and you are going to push people away like anything. So it's imperative that you do not cut away all income sources to do coaching. If you have an income stream, or even just that covers your expenses, because at least if you have your expenses covered, so even if you drop down to part-time or you have other income streams coming from somewhere that covers your expenses, it at least puts you in the safe zone. But when you put yourself in a position of danger, then you're going to be in high stress levels. You're going to put yourself into a position of burnout, and I don't believe in that. I genuinely don't believe in that. What I do believe in is mentally burning the boats. this is what I had to do. I had to mentally burn the boats. You've got to do what you've got to do to make it in this world, okay? You know, we all have stuff that isn't pleasant to have to do to get there. It's not all roses. It's not an easy ride. I would never say it's easy being a coach. There are a lot easier ways to make money, right? But the reason we push past and do the things we don't really want to do to get there is because we want to change lives, we want to impact the world, and we want to live our passion, we want to live our purpose, right? That's why we do what we do. That's why we push past any fears. That's why we push forward and make it happen. Chris says, I did that. Exactly. Absolutely. You did do that. Sarah, lovely to see you, sweet. Sarah Belford. Sorry, late to the party. Don't worry. You haven't missed too much. It's been me waffling on for ages anyway. So this is where we get into the nitty gritty of it all. So you have to mentally break the bond, okay? You have to go all in. You can't be half-assed, because it's the mental burning of the boats which will get you to where you need to be. That mental, so let me just talk about it from the opposite direction. So the people who are not mentally all in to coaching, are not mentally on board with it, are the people who hide behind the excuses, or they have this kind of love affair where they don't tell their other half that they're doing it because they're scared they're failing, or they don't tell their friends or their family, or you know, they talk about it in terms of like, oh, you've got a new coaching business. Oh yeah, well, yeah, it's just something I'm trying, something I'm doing, and you know what, it might work out, it might not. That is not mentally all in. That is mentally one foot in, giving yourself excuses to fail. Basically, you have to talk about your business, and you have your heart. It's not even your mind. It's not even mentally. If I'm getting really down to it, in your heart, you have to be all in. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my journey and where I came from to put this into context. So if you may have heard a little bit about this story when I was speaking to Sophia when she was interviewing me, but I was playing around at coaching for quite some time. I started coaching, probably being paid to coach, about 2 years ago. And for a good year, perhaps more of that 2-year period, I was playing at it. I tried to shoehorn 2 businesses together. I was doing it, but you know, it wasn't really pushing it forward. I was half promoting it. I wasn't putting all of my energy into it at all. I was putting most of my energy into my other business, even though it's not where I wanted to be. Now, I didn't cut that business off at any point until I had all my expenses covered and I knew I had enough to survive to then go full throttle in my coaching business. That's how I had to do. But I'd mentally switched off. When I decided to do it seriously, when I decided that it was no longer a maybe and that it was going to happen, I mentally switched all of my energy into my coaching business. And I did what I had to do in my holistic stuff to keep the money rolling in, and it became a nuisance, but it was a necessary nuisance that I had to deal with in order to get to where I am today, to the point where I could then go, look, I'm going to just get rid of that business because that is no longer necessary. It's more of a hindrance than it is help now, because I'm actually starting to make money on my coaching business and I can swap over. And now I've got to a level where I was earning the same amount in my holistic business, and now I'm rocketing to earn more than my holistic business could ever earn me, because I'm now out of that time for money trap, which is just never a good thing, never a good thing at all. Teresa, holistic, intriguing. Yes, I used to be a holistic therapist, which seems really random to anybody coming into my group now. It's like, that's really strange. I love holistic therapy. I totally believe in it. I'm a very spiritual person myself, but my passion is in talking therapy. My passion is helping people achieve their dreams. So I'm not quite sure what I was doing in my therapy room massaging people for an hour. Don't quite know what I was thinking there. However, I do know that I was too scared. I thought, who is going to listen to me? Who's going to pay me? What do I know? All of those same things that many of you may be going through right now. I've been there and done that. And when it came to crunch point time, and it's unfortunate that I left it to this crisis point to actually make a change, but me and my partner of 8 years split up. and I was basically left with my daughter and a business that I hated. And the options were to head back to my 9 till 5, which, as far as I was concerned, made me want to instantly cry, because that is just prison to me. It really, really is. I spent so many years in corporate. The thought of going back to that was just horrific for me. I genuinely didn't want to go back there. Or it was stay in a business I hated, which again wasn't an option. I can't carry on doing that. So I've been doing such a great job at failing at things I didn't want to do. Why do I not just give doing what I want to do a try? And that's when I made the switch, and that's when I stopped playing, and that's when I mentally went all in. And actually it wasn't even about you know, why don't I give this, you know, give something I want to do a try, and if I fail, then well, what? There was the failure wasn't an option. In my heart, I had made a commitment that I was going to throw every single last piece of me into coaching, because I knew in my heart that was what I put in on this earth to do. This is what brings me alive. This is what sets me on fire, and there ain't nothing on this earth that is ever going to stop me from doing this. So I was, and still am, willing to plumb all my money into other coaches to help me succeed. I was willing to put all of my time and energy, as much as I possibly could, into that, without neglecting myself, without putting myself into burnout, without neglecting my family, of course. But every spare moment that I had, and I made time for it. Yes, I had to put this business as a priority. I could have gone, oh, you know, well, I need a couple of hours in the evening. I actually have more time now. I've got to that position where I've grown so big that I managed to get rid of my other business, and I've now managed to move over to coaching fully, and I do have time back again. But there was a point where it grew, where both businesses were being held, and I had very little time to myself. But I knew that wasn't always going to be the case, that I was going to be able to drop that ball and continue on and have some time back and get some strategy back again in order to make sure that there's time for me. So yeah, you know, it's about prioritizing, and I prioritized the business, and I knew I was going to make it no matter what. That is the mental and in your heart commitment that you need to make to your business. No excuses, no half-assed, yeah, well, maybe it might work out, maybe it might not, or, you know, let's just give it a go and try, you can only try. I don't want to hear any of that, because that's not taking your business seriously. You might be scared. It might be painful. It might be that, you know, you're going to have to make sacrifices, and it might be hard. It might bring you to meltdown at some points. You may even hit burnout if you're not able to manage your time correctly. But is it worth every single blood, penny, every ounce of sweat that you have to give off? Yes, because you were born to do this, and this is why you are here, and you can absolutely make it happen, because I have proven that anybody can. I have proven that, and the coaches out there, like Jessica Lorimer, like Sanai Floyd, like Sophia Pacifico, they, you know, and I'm going to put Becky Dixon up there. They have all proven that anybody can do it, no matter what mental state you're in, no matter what financial position you're in. Anybody can do this if they have the commitment, and if they go all in and really align with their purpose and their passion to make it happen. And I was going to do absolutely anything to do that, and that's what I'm saying to you today. That's how you burn the boats. You know, failure is not an option. It is not an option. And if you're making it an option, then it will always happen. Failure will always happen. If you make failure not an option, and you know that you're going to do anything you can to make it happen, then it will happen. It literally is as simple as that, and that is how you make it happen. Now, the second part to this is that if you're looking to make it happen as a coach, as a mentor, as a trainer, then you have to be willing to invest. You have to be, and it doesn't mean, I'm not encouraging people to go into debt. If you want to go into debt, that's your business. I did. I would be hypocritical to say otherwise, but I'm not encouraging you to do so. But you do need to save up. if you're not in a position to invest right now, and that is another reason why you shouldn't cut off all of your ties to your income stream, because you need to have money to invest into your coaching. You cannot coach somebody without coaching yourself. You can't do it. You can't just say, I know all the answers and I'm fine the way I am to help people. You know, whilst you are absolutely enough, whilst you absolutely can do this, it's essential on two levels to do this. One, so you grow as a coach, but also so that you, you know, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, then who is? So if you're not willing to invest in yourself, there's going to be a block there energetically, and no one's going to invest any real money into you because you're not willing to give other people money to put time into you, and vice versa, and you're not willing to invest into yourself. You have to be willing to do that. And all of these people, and this is where the truth bomb comes. And actually, before I just move on to this truth bomb, I just want to check the comments here, because I can see a few coming in. Lorraine, hello, lovely, don't worry. Gwen, yes, give what you love doing a try. Not even a try, you just do it. You do it. You give what you love doing your all. You give what you love doing your all. Sophia, and a mattress. Sorry, I did leave with a mattress. A business I hated, my daughter, and a mattress. Teresa, yep, I'm there and I do the holistic services right now, so that's interesting. Teresa, I'd love to hear more about your story. You should share it with us in the group. Gwen, definitely all in, but also looking for other streams of income to add to it. Last year I worked 3 house cleaning jobs and 1 direct sales business, exhausting and not great financially. Time for money again, Gwen, time for money. Get out of the time for money scenario. I do have multiple income streams from various different products that I put out there, and passive income streams. I have that passive income stream, and you can have various different streams coming in, but it's all around what I do, because I'm driving all of my time and all of my energy into the same mission, the same message, the same values, because that's what I'm all about. So you can still generate multiple income streams in the same energetic line. You know, we've all got a purpose, we've all got a passionate why. As long as it's all in alignment with that, then that's fine. You have loads of different income streams. Dawn, that's me right now. Keep listening, lovely, keep listening. Okay, I think I've caught up on all of the comments. Graham, I'm late, but I'm here. Hi, Graham. Josie, lovely to see you, darling. Dawn, I opened a savings account for this purpose this week. Go you. I'm really chuffed to hear you say that. Seriously, I am really, really chuffed to hear you say that, because that's commitment right there. That is, as long as you put money into it regularly and you make it a priority to do so, then amazing. I'm really pleased by that. So anyway, going on to my truth bomb. So you may or may not have seen this hanging around. However, I saw a few comments in some different groups, and there was quite a long thread on one of them. Again, not mentioning names. However, they were talking about how they'd invested in coaches and they were really disappointed with the results, and you know, it was a total waste of time and money. Now, yes, I agree that there are some so-called bad coaches out there who are all about the money and not about serving their clients. Yes, there are some mediocre coaches out there who, you know, pander to their clients rather than challenge them and push them to where they need to be and where they want to be to get them the results that they want. I do understand that. However, where I get really passionate and really quite annoyed is when people say these comments, but they're unwilling to take their responsibility for their own success. Stop pinning your hopes and dreams on another person. Your success is your responsibility. That is the only person responsible. If you've picked a bad coach, then I'm sorry, you have to take some responsibility. You chose to work with that person. I certainly, as a consumer, as someone going out there looking for coaches, I'm pleased to say, maybe I'm lucky, but I don't think so. I know every single coach I've invested in has been absolute gold, because I have made sure that their free stuff is amazing, and I have made sure that I've stalked them before and I've got testimonials, because when you're putting that kind of money into people, surely you want to make sure they're okay to begin with. And you know, every single one of them has. Not one coach has managed to take me through every step that I needed. Why? Because they've all been experts in particular areas, and I am totally down with that. I don't expect one person to give me all of the answers, because first of all, they can't be an expert in everything, and second of all, I cannot physically, as a puny human being, take on board and implement every single step for success in that short period of time. It's impossible. You have to give yourself time to process the results that that coach is getting for you. Trust in the gap. I always say trust in the gap. The penny drops in the silence. The penny drops after your coaching has finished, and suddenly everything the coach has been saying suddenly goes, you go, oh, that's what that means. That's why it makes sense. That's what's going on. You have to invest in the experts for the point. The key to it is that you invest in the coach that can help you with your next step that's stopping you. But you cannot expect them to get you to the monetary goal that you've got in your head in one fell swoop. Depending on where you are on the timeline, depends on how long it takes you. I've had to invest in 4 coaches to get me to where I am today, and every single one of those coaches has brought something incredible. It just so happens that the last coach I worked with helped me with my money mindset, and the money started tumbling in. But if I hadn't have had those 3 previous coaches to help me with the other puzzle pieces, that last coach would have had no effect. It wouldn't have brought the money in, because you need to have clarity, you need to have this strategy, and you need to have the right money mindset and the right mindset around your fears, the right mindset around how good you feel, the right mindset around how confident you are in your abilities. There's so many pieces to the jigsaw puzzle that you need to have in place to ensure that you are aligned. And this is why coaching is no easy thing. But if you want to do it, you can do it, but you have to be willing to invest, and you have to be willing to put the time in, and you have to be honest with yourself about what you're struggling with. Because if you're not honest about what you're struggling with, you can't solve it, right? The first step to solving any problem is identifying the problem, and you can't move forward until you identify what the problem is. And if anybody is struggling, then let me know. But I've heard so many people the last couple of weeks say, I don't know what the problem is. You do know. I don't know equals avoidance of the problem. You do know what is wrong. I know that for a fact, because you just do. You hold all the answers to all of your problems. But sometimes it takes a coach to help draw it out of you. But stop saying, I don't know. I don't know doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help your coach. Stop saying, I don't know, and start saying what you do know. Start from a place of what you do know, and then the gaps will start to appear. Because you can see, I know this, and I know this, and I know this, aha, but I don't know this, and I don't know this. And I need to fill in these gaps, these puzzle pieces, to get me to where I need to be. So it's essential to understand those pieces. You need to understand who it is that you're helping, what you're helping them with. You need to, with your niche, it has 2 parts. It has your fluff, which consists of your values. And again, I use the word fluff, and it has negative connotations, but it's not. The fluff is so important. So don't ever think because I'm saying fluff, I don't think it's not essential. But you must have your values. You've got to have your passionate why. You've got to have your zone of genius. Why and sort of how you work with people. So your attributes, your life's purpose, what it is, and how you interact with people. All of that combined together is your fluff, and your tangible outcome determines the strength of your niche. And that's why you can be determined as a fluffy coach, because you may have all of those other things and you might be showing those every day, but what you're not doing is owning the outcome and the transformation that you get for your clients. And if you're not willing to own your outcome and that transformation, then nobody's going to give you any money, because if you can't own the transformation, they're not going to trust you that they're going to get there, and they don't even know what that transformation is because you're not verbalizing it, which is why it's so important to own it, own the transformation. So you've got to have a strong niche. You've got to get to know your ideal client intimately to understand their problems, where they're coming from, so that you can become an expert on your ideal client. Really, that's what it means. You were your ideal client. I say this all the time, but so in case anyone new is watching, you are your ideal client at some point in your journey. So you have to start becoming an expert on you, on that person that you were, to get inside of your own head, inside of their head, to tell them their own story so that it resonates with them and they know that you understand the situation that they're in and where they're heading, where they want to get to, their desire. So many salespeople focus on what's the problem. You absolutely do need to solve a problem, but when you're coaching, you're also getting them to a point of aspiration. Where do they want to be? Invariably, it's where you're going. So that might help you out a bit on what, and how to define your ideal client, but you need to understand them intimately in order to become that expert, and you have to become an expert if you want to build trust. It's essential. If you're not a trusted advisor, no one is going to give you money. And even if, let's just say, they went out on a whim, and this is where half the people, I reckon, who do this whole, I invested in a coach and it didn't work out, they were sort of like half like, oh, like a dog, like, yeah, go on, okay, take my money, let's hope for the best, because they weren't fully trusting, they weren't fully in, or they weren't all in. They, before they even began, they were questioning whether it was going to work out. And I don't work with people like that. I work with people who want to make it happen, who are determined, who own their success, who are responsible for themselves, and who have come into this group and have stalked me to make sure that they know that I know what I'm talking about, so that when we go in together, we go in holding hands, and we come out celebrating, and there is no other way to do it. And that is how you become the expert, that is how you gain people's trust, and that is how you gain trust in yourself, because the most important person that needs to believe is you. You need to believe in your abilities, you need to believe in the success that you bring to your clients, and when you do that, you feel on fire. That is what being a true expert is all about. It's about feeling like the expert and owning it. And a lot of people, and this is something I really want to touch on, as Sophia said in her interview just a little while ago, she was talking about, she said something like, why do we do this? Why do we choose to ignore all the amazing stuff that we have going on? Why do we choose to ignore that? And that feeling of like not knowing enough. It's because we don't recognize what we have, first of all. It's because we take for granted what we give our clients, because it becomes so naturally to us. So we fail to see the power of what we actually already have. And also, we're not willing to stop anywhere specific. When we are going, well, that's not enough, 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 we wander around in circles and we don't stop anywhere, and we don't sit down and decide what we want to help with, because we're assuming nothing's enough. When you start looking at what you've got and taking a good eyeful at the amazing attributes that you have, and you pick one, all of them are enough, you pick one that you want to help with, and then you go, okay, I'm going to help here. This is where I want to help. And then you look at it, and then you do that whole thing of, is that enough? Doesn't matter right now. You've picked something. You know what you want to help with. Now you know what you want to help with. Now you know where to put all of your energy, all of your time and learning development into that. That is how you become an expert, by deciding what you want to be an expert in and ploughing all of your efforts and money and time into becoming an expert in that area. But if you just wander around in circles forever, you will never become an expert at anything, because you're not deciding. Decide where you want to be, make that decision, and that's where you start. That's where you start building the confidence. That's where you start creating and bridging that gap between your abilities, which you seem to think are over here and you're over here. So when you start pulling them together and you're able to find congruence and alignment with that skill, with that ability, with that gold, with that amazingness, and you're able to channel it towards your clients. Just going to go through some of these comments here. Marcy, I can honestly say that I don't think I would have the clarity I do without Jen's help. You're such a darling. Thank you. Sarah Denner, that's me. I stalked you for ages. Exactly. Sarah, exactly. You're a prime example. You're a fab stalker. Roll on the expertology program. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. Josie, I have to run, but I'm going to listen back later. Thanks, lovely. No worries, Josie. See you later on, sweet. Dawn, my problem is nailing my niche. I'm getting there. I know what I'm passionate learning and teaching about. I know how to help others get to the next step that's right for them. I just need to nail it down more. Exactly, that's half the people's problems. Dawn, I don't know whether you saw my other videos, but seriously, every unsuccessful coach out there is struggling with their clarity on what they're doing, because when you find that alignment with what your purpose is, you will beam like the sun. There is no force on earth which will hold you back from sharing that message and attracting the right kinds of clients to you. There is no way possible. Gwen says, I don't know yet. Okay, cool. Lorraine, oh, I love this. Light bulb moment. Makes me realise that I try to give my clients all the answers around food, lifestyle and self-love. While I still want to work in all those areas, it's made me see that I need to niche down and create individual funnel services products for each client. Lorraine, I'm having a little party over here. Well done. I'm really, really pleased with it. Sarah says, trust in the gap. Love this. Fab. Karen, different coaches will help you with different things, hence the investment. Absolutely, Karen. Absolutely. Because if they're not the expert, you're never going to hand over the money, right? So you have to accept that they're only going to help you with something specific. That's what that is about. You have to be ready and have the time to put the work in, Josie. Absolutely, you do have to be ready. And this, just while we're on that subject, this is why you need to stop talking to people who aren't ready, because you're going to be putting people kicking and screaming, going, I really, I know I need it, but just go away. And they're going to be cowering the corner, whilst there are people in the other direction waving at you and jumping around going, hey, I'm the person that needs help, but you're still talking to that group of people over there who don't want to hear it. Talk to the people who do want to hear it. You made the decision to do this and to get out of the situation that you're in or achieve where you've got to. There are more people out there like you. Talk to those people. There we go. I think I've caught up on the comments. Fabulous. Mousy Masters, stalker for life. Love it. Sarah, I'm a fab stalker. Best compliment I had all day. Becky, Marcy, ditto. I definitely wouldn't have the clarity without Jen's help in just 1 week. Oh, I love you all. You're so lovely. So anyway, that was my truth bomb. If you haven't gone out and read my post, I've got an article out there all about this, but it's basically just saying stop listening. Sorry, not stop listening, because that's another truth bomb for another day. This is about owning your success, taking responsibility for where you're going to. This is what this is all about. Stop blaming others, stop blaming hubbies, stop blaming your children, stop blaming the lack of time, stop blaming the lack of money. And I think this is a Tony Robbins saying, it's not the lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. Okay? Stop making the excuses, stop blaming other people for it not happening, and start taking ownership. Have you implemented everything that your coach said for you to do? Have you picked the right coach for you? That's your responsibility to do that. So before you pick any coach, go and stalk them and make sure you find out more about them, and then you know that you've picked the right one. I've worked with a 6-figure coach, in fact 2 6-figure coaches, and yeah, I didn't earn 6 figures straight after working with them, but I don't blame them for that, because I know I've got a little way to go, but I'm learning from the best. And that's all I need to know. And they've brought incredible goals that I know that if I continue on the same path, I will get to 6 figures and 7 figures, which I'll exceed. I know that. I know because I've already gone from that woman with the mattress and a business I hated to building this empire. I know that it's only going to go up from here. Anybody can do it if you commit to it and burn those boats. Burn them and get into this properly and put all your energy. And the reason why you're not putting all of your energy into it is because you haven't hit the button on your passion. You haven't hit the button on your purpose. Because trust me, when you find it, there isn't anything in this world that's going to stop you. Before I leave, I need to hammer it home to you. Expertology, early bird ends tomorrow midnight. If you want to become that coach on fire who feels that alignment with their purpose and passion, just like Sarah's done, just like Amanda's done, they've joined in with the Expertology, and every other one of my clients who have come in and found that alignment with me. If you want the same, if you want that passion, then jump into the program. Do it quick. Don't be that person, because on my last workshop I had 2 people on early bird, and then 10 people came in at the last minute on full price, on double the price. Why do that when you can save money? If you know that you're stuck right now, if you know that you need help, discovering what your niche is, getting aligned, and you need help to position yourself as that expert in your passion and feeling like an expert. If you know you need help with that, and to do things like this, to conquer live, to strut yourself like a pro, be that coach with grit, be that coach that has full-on impact, that isn't a diluted mess that's here, there, and everywhere and nowhere. If you want to become that coach with grit, tenacity, and full force, then jump in the program before midnight tomorrow. Payment plans are available. Extended payment plans are available to those who need it. PM me, let me know if you're interested, and we'll sort something out for you. It's been great talking to you and having a rant. I've been talking a million miles an hour because I had to go and pick up my daughter because we've got a party to go to. So I'm having to pick her up early. So sorry, it's a bit of a jumbled mess. Let me just check here. We've got Chris, gotta run, sorry, but we'll finish watching later. Mwah! Loads of love to you. Gwen, I need to work on resourcefulness, so I stop stalking and start working with you. Love you, hon. Same here, Gwen. Emma Hickey, we're a bit late, we'll catch the rest. No worries, lovelies. It's been fab chatting to you, and again, I'm so sorry for I'm passionate about it anyway, so I always talk a million miles an hour. But yeah, it's been extra compacted today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it's been helpful. Want to see you in Expertology. No hoping about it. If you need help, get in there. Speak to me. If you think if you know you need it, because you need to know you need it. If you're honest with yourself, you know you need the help, and you know you want to make the investment, but you're just not sure how you're going to do it. Just contact with me, okay? Just PM me, because what am I going to do? Say no? You're no worse off, right? Let's talk about it and see what we can do. I am always mega flexible. Let me know. Love you. Take care. Speak to you soon. Right, I'm going to get off on my page first because that's always scary. How do I get back to my page? How do I get back to my page? Here I am. Hi, page people. Going now.